Gabby, you're going to be getting married soon, I hear. Well, I never got an invite to come out and see your man with the rest of the family, which is a bit mean of you, right? I can't believe you'd forget all about your important little sister like that. You and I aren't talking to one another anymore, so it makes sense why I didn't invite you. Don't start calling me the mean one when it was you that did things to me, then made it so I can't invite you out. Are you talking about when I went and stole your boyfriend from you? That happened over 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, I was just about to marry him. He told me that he'd be proposing to me on our anniversary. Yet on the day of, he didn't pull out a ring for me, but had you come out with him. I never thought that would be the moment he told me that he'd be running off with you instead of proposing to me. Your face back at that time was so freaking hilarious. You're hoping for him to get down on one knee and propose to you. And you put in all that work doing your makeup and wearing your nicest clothing. But then, I came in and took him from you, leaving you standing there in tears. Stop screwing around with me. Why the hell do you think is at fault for leaving me with such terrible memories from back then? Thankfully, it's been 5 years since then, and I was finally able to get to this point with my current fiancé. Yet now, I have to hear from you, out of all people again, which has once again made me feel like garbage. You're so mean. It's been so long since you last talked with your cute little sister. Can't you just be a little happy about this? I'm asking you to please never talk to me again like this. I don't ever want to see or hear from you again. And of course, you're not being invited to the wedding either. What? You're not even going to invite me to your wedding? Even if you've gone and cut ties to me, we're still family, right? I hear that you're still going out with my ex-boyfriend. Please, continue that relationship with him and be happy for me. I happen to want to become happy myself now, so please don't ever get in my way again.
Hey, Gabby. Sorry. Today, I'm not coming into the office. I have the day off. I'm sorry, but could I ask you to please work on all those papers for me? I've completed about 90% of the work already, so I just need you to finish things up and review them.
I'm already on it, Drew. I already had a talk with the manager and he ended me off the work for me today, so relax.
Seriously? Thank you so much for getting on that.
Are you doing alright today? It's been a long time since you'd last taken a day off work. If you're not feeling so good, do you need me to bring you something? In a little bit, I have to take a trip over to one of our business partners, so on my way there, I can stop by and drop some things off for you.
Wait, you don't have to do that for me. I'm not even sick or anything. Rather, something came up requiring me to take the day off. There was a bit of trouble that came up, and I have to go to the police for it.
Wait, the police? Now, I really want to ask if you're okay. Did something happen inside your house? Did you get robbed or something? I can give you some money if you're really short on it right now.
I'm alright. Has nothing to do with me getting robbed. Rather, right now I'm having some stalker problems.
A stalker?
Actually, the only person I'd ever told this to was the department manager. And, well, recently I've been getting stalked by this younger woman. But I've had trouble approaching her because she'll always run off, so that's why today I'm going to the police to have a word with them about it.
Is that right?
She's been stalking me online as well, I see. I started to get messages from who I thought was just this cute girl online, and so I replied back to them. But within no time, she was starting to follow me home from work late in the evening. When I'd be leaving my house in the morning to go to work, she was still out there. She would tell me from far away, "Good morning, Drew."
What the hell? So she really is a stalker then?
I think I need to handle her as soon as possible. I felt that on my own I wouldn't be able to do anything about her, but with the help of the police. So, for starters, I'm going to talk with them and see if they can get her to leave me alone.
Good idea. Things like this are best to be dealt with right away, before they spiral out of control. I hope that they will start to set a patrol car around your neighborhood during the night to try and scare her off.
I'm really sorry, though, that something like my personal life is getting in the way of my work. As a coworker of yours, I feel like a total letdown.
No way, you don't have to be worried about that. Actually, if there's anything else you need from me, please feel free to ask. You and I happen to be really close coworkers after all.
All right. Thank you, like always. I'll see you again tomorrow, then.
How's that? Did you like that picture I just sent to you? I'm sure you're shocked to see how close the both of us already are. What the hell is this all about? Why are you together with Drew like that? And taking him all the way out to Mouseland? You're making it look as though the both of you are a thing now or something. Well, that's because him and I are a thing. So, of course, we choose to go out to Mouseland. Him and I wore matching t-shirts and made sure to look as cute as possible together. Huh? So you're going out with Drew right now? To tell you the truth, that's right. I happen to be going out with your fiancé of all people now. What? I'm sorry, but once again, I've come in and I've stolen your fiancé from right out beneath you. But for some reason, he was so insistent that I go out with him as his new girlfriend. All I had to do was lightly attack him, and that turned his eyes on me and made him fall in love all over again. Wait a second, Riley. What are you talking about right now? You're going out with Drew. Yet, you say that you're going out with my fiancé right now. Well, it's your fault for never once telling me about him in the first place. I even went back to talking with Mom and Dad about him, and neither one of them would tell me a thing. Not a single person was willing to give me a little bit of information about your fiancé. So in the end, I had to use my skills online to go out and find him myself. And that's exactly what I did. Online? After searching and searching and searching, I was finally able to find him. I saw he had posted all kinds of images online of the both of you together looking so close to one another. He even put hashtag my most important person on there with the pictures. I guess you both were really in love with one another then. You're kidding me, right? All of those photos have to be from around 3 years ago now. And you're telling me that you found those online still? And that wasn't the only stuff I was able to find in my search. What? Realizing just how good-looking of a man Drew was, I made sure to search even further into him before making my move. And that led me to learning about something really insane. Drew just so happens to be the son of a very, very wealthy family, right? The house his parents have is a very large one that's about the size of a mansion, and the house he's currently living in doesn't look too cheap either. When I went out to see for it myself, I was in shock at how modern it is. You're joking. You really dug deep into his private life like that. When I saw all of that online, I realized that the only choice I had was to steal him away from you. I had been getting pretty bored of your last boyfriend anyway, so it was the right time for me to move on. And I was going to find myself a new man, and being rich and having a really nice place was the right move. What? You broke up with my ex then? When it comes to jumping to another man, the point is where both persons' love is the highest is at the start, right? And ever since I'd taken your ex, our love has really sizzled out. So that's your reasoning for once again wanting to steal your older sister's fiancé. How much worse of a little sister can you become, Riley? How about you go out and date with men who are free, like the rest of us women do? I don't want to do something that meaningless as dating men to find out which ones will really love me back. It's boring. If the love that I'm wanting isn't full of jumps and turns and isn't a thrill for me to obtain, then I don't want any part of it. That kind of reasoning for wanting to steal yet another of your sister's fiancé is crazy. I guess you haven't learned anything after having me cut ties to you for this long. But I feel that this will be my last time doing it, so don't worry. I don't think there's going to be another man as perfect as Drew for me in the future. And once him and I are married, I won't really care anymore about what kinds of men you're dating with anymore. Ah, is that so? Now I have the man of my dreams to tie the knot with, so see you later. Today, him and I will be going out for the whole entire day as a date. I'm sure that later you'll be getting a text from him asking to break up, so please leave him as soon as you can. Toodles! Well, luckily I'm with my fiancé right now at our wedding. What? And when I say my fiancé, I'm not talking about Drew. I mean, I'm with another man who is not him. He has never been my fiancé before, so I don't care what you do with him. Enjoy your date with him today. Wait a second, please. What do you mean you're having your wedding right now? And when you say that Drew's not your fiancé, what are you going on about right now, Gabby? Drew is your fiancé, isn't he? And I'm saying he most definitely is not my fiancé and has never been. Him and I just happen to work for the same company and are co-workers. Him and I happen to have the same department manager as well, so we are closer to one another than anyone else in the company. What? So you both are just working for the same company right now? But online, there are so many pictures of you together, right? And he's hashtagged things that only couples would tag in their pictures together. You shouldn't be taking whatever he has hashtagged on those pictures as anything more than those two co-workers mean by it. Back then, him and I had just completed this major project for the company, and when that happened, we both took tons of pictures together for the company. And he probably put that hashtag out there because without each other, we wouldn't have been able to do what we'd done. So when he said I was like an important person to him, that's what he meant. Huh? But I guess there was no helping you from such having a misunderstanding about that. At that time, him and I would go out with one another a lot as friends, and he always wanted to go eat at such fancy restaurants. And some of those other photos were taken inside 3-star restaurants. I didn't know that, and after seeing that stuff, anyone would mistake you guys for being a thing. To me, that all looked like you guys are going on dates with one another. Seeing those restaurants all look too classy for just friends. That's why I thought that he was going to be your fiancé. I thought that I'd once again be able to steal another one of your fiancés from you. Sorry about that. Sure, him and I are really close to one another, but all that we are to each other at the end of the day are co-workers. And the reason I never invited him to the wedding today is because we're keeping it small and only for close family. But he made sure to hand me a gift the other day congratulating me, because that's the kind of awesome friend he is. No way! Yet then, we have a child like you. If all you were doing was going out with him because you thought he was my fiancé, then you leave him right now so you don't break his heart. I hate the idea of having someone like you going out with my best friend, for only that reason alone. Who do you think is going to leave a man like him? It sucks that I made a mistake. But his family has all lots of money, and he is living in a super modern house. And since I'm thinking about getting married now, he's going to be the one for me, and I will not let go of him. I'm getting married to him even sooner now. What? He's deeply invested in me now. I'm going to marry him, and then I'm going to have an even better life living with all of his money than you'll ever have with whatever man you're marrying today. If you still want to get married to a man like Drew, then you go right ahead. But something's still very off. He told me before that all he wants to focus on is work and nothing else. So does he really want to go out with you right now? Huh? Now that I think about it, not too long ago, he was telling me how he had this stalker that was really causing him some headaches. I'm not sure if this could be true, but are you not the stalker he was talking about? How could I be the stalker he was talking about? If he wasn't dating me, then why would we go have plans to go to Mouseland today? No matter how you think about it, him and I are dating. But look, you told me before that you found him over the internet, right? And you were also looking into things like his family and his house. And you've even gone out to see the place for yourself, right? But that all does not make me some kind of stalker of his. I was just attacking him a little was all. And proof of that is in us going out on a date right now. He might even jump the gun and propose to me today because he's that deeply in love with me. What? That would mean I get to become the wife of a healthy family's son, and for the rest of my life, I'll be living like a winner. And I'll be able to have an even more fancy wedding than whatever you're putting in today. What am I going to do, Gabby? I'm going to be taken into police custody. Tell Drew to stop all of this right now. Huh? I thought you were both going on a date right now, so why are the police getting involved? That's something I'd really like to know. He told me he had somewhere he really wanted to show me before we started to get all romantic with one another. And when we walked over to it, there were 4 police officers who all approached me. What is going on here? Why are the police calling me a stalker right now and saying that I need to go with them to their police car? Really? Everything that Drew is saying to me right now is really mean. He's told me that his plan from the start was to take me out on this date today, and in order to get the police to arrest me. And that's why he was willing to take me all the way to Mouseland like this and do as I wanted. And now he's going about how he's going to have the police take care of me now because he can't be asked to get stalked by some crazy loser anymore. I knew it was you who was the stalker. And I told you you're wrong. I haven't been doing anything that a stalker would do. Now, you help me get out of this situation right now. If you don't tell Drew to stop this all right now, I'm really going to be taken by the police. I can't. My wedding only just finished a little bit ago after all. Also, if you weren't trying to act like a stalker that whole time, Drew didn't see it that way and thought very well that you were stalking him. If you want to make excuses for what you were doing and fight about it, please do so when you get to the police station. No way! Now, good luck to you.
Today was the day of your wedding, right? Congratulations, Gabby. I wish for your husband and you to have a happy and healthy life together.
Thank you so much, Drew. Now, I would like to apologize to you. I never thought that your stalker would turn out to be my little sister of all things.
I was just as shocked as you are now. But it seems things will be resolved for me now, so you don't have to worry about it.
So you really did get her taken away by the police then?
That's right. I was able to get them to help me out there. And man, was it so easy for me to get her to fall into that trap.
But why would you go on a date like that with your stalker? Why didn't you just have the police come over and get her right there and then?
I felt that by having them come arrest her right then would have ended all the fun I was having. When I went to the police about it, they said that if she wasn't acting suspicious enough when stalking me, they wouldn't be able to charge her for much. So I had to do something to make things a bit more personal, you see. And that required me to get a bit more serious and have fun with the whole thing. And that was me making a scenario where the police would be more than capable of taking her away for good.
What do you mean by that?
That girl is a real pain in the ass. I was getting hundreds and hundreds of messages and calls from her every day on all sorts of platforms. To make things even more stupid, she'd say things like, "If you don't come out and date me, I'm jumping off this bridge. A girl as cute as me is attacking you in such a fun way, so at the very least come and have a date with me. If you think you can sit there laughing at me, I'll get all my male friends together to come and beat you to death." She was really trying to play all her cards on me.
Wow. She told me she was just going lightly with you. However, all of that right there seems pretty screwed up.
That's why I thought to myself the best thing to do was actually confront her in person. So I called the police again, and they told me we could make a plan where I would go out to meet with her for a date and bring her to an area where she wouldn't be able to get away. I ended up telling her I can meet with you just this one time at Mouseland. And that's how everything ended up happening.
I see. And considering all of those messages, all those threats you have from her, you have a lot of evidence now.
Therefore, I'm a little bit sorry to be asking you this, but could I please file a restraining order on her now? I get that she's your family and all, but I don't want her getting anywhere close to me again.
I cut ties to her a long time ago, so you can do whatever you want. Heck, you could go ahead and sue her for all I care. I would love to hear about how much money you could get from her stalking you and making all those threats.
What? Are you sure that's okay?
Remember that she's the kind of pile of shit that was willing to steal her older sister's fiancé from her. Even the rest of the family doesn't care about her anymore and want her to face some stricter punishments for the way that she acts.
Then I'm going to go ahead and have a talk with a lawyer about this. I'll see you again at work, alright? And when things have calmed down a bit more, I'll tell you about what all happens.
What am I going to do, Gabby? I'm going to be screwed pretty royally now, I think. Drew went and told the police that he'd like a restraining order placed on me, and that he'd like to take me to court and sue me for all those threats. Wait, so you're not sitting in jail right now then? I thought your fate was sealed after last week. Go screw yourself. For some reason, they let me go home after all that questioning. But for a few days, they had me sitting in a county jail, and it was the scariest experience of my life. Considering that I'm going to be charged with stalking, it will be all going on my permanent record as well. Wow. So for the rest of your life, it looks like you'll be in the hands of the police in some way or another. Only a matter of time until you end up having to go to prison for stepping out of the line. I don't want that though. I was just trying to get him to fall in love with me was all. There's no way I should be going to jail over having to get sued over it. I had Drew show me all the texts you were sending him, and all of those threatening texts were some of the scariest things I've ever seen from you. And what's this about you sneaking into his garage one night before he could close the door and you're camping out there waiting for him? Not only have you been stalking and threatening the man, but you've been trespassing on his property as well. You're a criminal now, Riley. What did he just call me? You need to stop fighting right now, please. I've already told Drew that he could go out all on you if he wants to. So it's really too late for you to come crying to me about it all. Huh? Why would you say that to him? What are you going to do if I really do have to go to jail for all of this and pay a massive settlement? I'm going to sit back and enjoy this world becoming a tad bit safer. Screw you, Gabby! Now this is all having to happen to me, and the next thing I'm going to do is steal your husband. Don't think you can get away with anything now that just because you're married. I'll steal another man from you and then send you to hell for what you're doing. If you think you can manage that, then come and get me. I'd love to hear about how you'll be escaping the police in whatever jail cell you're locked up in. God damn you! Making fun of me like that. If you have the time right now to be getting all pissy with me, then you go to Drew and apologize for everything you've done to the poor guy. You know very well now that his family has a lot of money, right? Which means that his parents are just as upset with you for what you've done. He told me he already spoke with them about the court case and that he's going to have a very famous lawyer there helping him out. What? You really are going to end up in prison if you don't get your act together. Because so far, all you're continuing to do is cause trouble. No way. You're lying, right? I don't want to have a criminal record. If I have to end up like this, then no man will ever want to be with me again. That's it from me. Take it as your final warning from me to live with what you've done and actually take responsibility for all of it this time. Right after that, it looks as though Riley went and tried to get some help from her parents. However, the both of them told her to please leave them out of it. And right there and then, they disowned her from the family. Soon after, she was able to avoid having to spend any more time in jail. However, that cost her a fortune to avoid, landing her in a lot of debt. However, Drew was still able to get his settlement from her as well as creating a restraining order, not only keeping her away from him, but me as well. So that monster will never be able to come around either one of us ever again. I hear that right now, in an attempt to pay off all of the debt that she's gotten herself into, she's begun working for a ladies' bar and has to work close to 60 hours a week there to have enough money to survive each month. And just a bit ago, she sent both myself and Drew a message saying that she was sorry for everything, and Drew actually forgave her. If he was willing to do that all for her, then he must really be a kind man, and I will be treating him with even more respect now because of that.